It's 1952 and Alan Turing sits in a drab jail cell in Manchester. Outside, the world is rebuilding after war, but inside, the man who helped crack Nazi Germany's Enigma code waits for his fate. His crime, loving the wrong person. But this scene barely scratches the surface of a life marked by genius, invention, and tragic injustice. How did this logical mind, who dreamed of thinking machines, end up here? Let's unpack the untold story. Before Turing became a name on history's greatest minds list, he was buried in the chaos of WWII, working in secrecy on something that could tip the scales completely. At Bletchley Park, England's top-secret code-breaking hub, Turing and a small team raced against time. With minds and machines, they tackled Germany's Enigma cipher. The pressure was relentless. The fate of millions hinged on their breakthroughs. No glory, just daily intensity in dim rooms filled with clacking machinery and whispered theories. Imagine a lock with trillions of combinations, changeable every minute. Turing's insight was to build a machine that didn't just guess but systematically eliminated impossibilities. Like solving a labyrinth blindfolded by marking every dead end until only the right path remains, his bomb machine made what seemed unbreakable breakable. That machine didn't just save time, it saved lives. Historians credit Turing's code breaking with shortening the war by years. His work wasn't merely about intelligence, it rewired the future, proving that mechanical logic could be a decisive weapon in human conflict. Long before your smartphone was even a wild idea, Turing was dreaming of machines that could think. But his ideas were so radical, they were barely understood. At Cambridge 1937, Turing wrote a landmark paper introducing computable numbers, proposing that a single machine could mimic any calculation process. It was a dry, theoretical topic, but this paper was the blueprint for everything digital that followed. Picture it as the DNA for all modern computing. His concept of the Turing machine wasn't a physical machine but an abstract device, a thought experiment showing how a machine could manipulate symbols to mimic any logical operation. Think of an invisible chess player inside a box, moving pieces according to strict rules, yet capable of solving any problem given time and memory. This wasn't just math talk, it was the groundwork for actual computers and artificial intelligence. Without Turing's vision, your laptop might still be science fiction. He blurred lines between man and machine, setting the stage for the digital revolution decades before it exploded. Despite cracking codes and inventing futures, Turing's life was shadowed by a society that refused to accept him. His downfall was as swift as it was cruel. After the war, society's harsh realities caught up. In 1952, Turing was arrested for gross indecency, basically being gay before it was legal. His private life became public scandal, and the man who saved millions was treated like a criminal, stripped of security clearance and respect. Turing refused prison but accepted chemical castration, a brutal hormone treatment intended to cure him. Imagine choosing between physical torture and loss of career. This was his impossible choice. It crushed his spirit and career, turning a towering intellectual into a shell of potential. In 1954, Turing died from cyanide poisoning, an apparent suicide famously linked to the apple found beside him. Decades later, governments and communities recognized their grave injustice. His legacy was restored, his pioneering work celebrated worldwide, proof that truth and genius can outlast oppression. Back in that cold jail cell, the man who dreamed of thinking machines was trapped not by math but by fear and prejudice. Turing's story reminds us that brilliance often battles social blindness, and that our inventions reflect our humanity as much as our logic. Next time something seems impossible, ask yourself, what's my version of a Turing machine, a way to crack that code? Subscribe for more book summaries like this one.